Hey guys, this is Brandon's Baseball Blogs. I'm going to be doing the sports interview with my friend Randy. We're going to be talking about Jeremy Pena, my favorite player from the Houston Astros, and we're going to talk about Jose Altuve, who is also my favorite player from the Astros, and about Jeremy Pena's young start to his career, about his highlights that he's done, and also we're going to talk about the all-time Yankee that passed away yesterday or 2 days ago at the age of 100. I can't remember his name, but we're going to be talking about that Yankee that my grandpa had saw play, and we're going to talk about how he was a legend for the Yankees and how he was a great leader. And we're also going to be talking about some of the NFL moves that happened and about how the Yankees are ready for 2025 and how this year could be a changing moment for the Yankees and for baseball, and about just everything that's happened. And we're going to talk about a lot of stuff about how my favorite player, Jeremy Pena, is the first player in American League history to win a Gold Glove, win a World Series MVP, and hit a home run in the World Series and win a Gold Glove in his rookie season, and win the ALCS MVP and the World Series MVP. My opinion is Jeremy Pena is the best player on the Astros with Jose Altuve, Yordan Alvarez, and Pena and Diaz and all of them, even Valdez. But literally, Pena, I have a signed baseball from his postseason. And literally, Jeremy Pena is honestly one of the best players in baseball. That's my opinion. Jeremy Pena has dominated. And when in his first Major League at bat, on April 7th, 2022, he literally dominated. He hit his first Major League home run while his parents were getting interviewed by the broadcast. And literally, it was against the Angels, and it gave the Astros a 2-0 lead. And literally, Pena tied Correa for the franchise record for rookie home runs with 22 that year. And he hit a walk-off home run in his rookie season against the Toronto Blue Jays. And literally the Astros won 4-2 that day. And literally, Jeremy Pena is honestly one of the best players in baseball. He's honestly one of my favorite players. Jose Altuve has been in the league since 2011. Jose Altuve is a multiple-time All-Star and a one-time MVP. And he is also literally he's almost tied Bernie Williams for the most home runs in postseason history with over 20. He needs only 3 more to tie Bernie Williams and Manny Ramirez, and he needs only 4 to take the lead and have the most home runs in postseason history. Jose Altuve had over 300 hits in a season. And his offense has dipped a little, but Altuve's offense and defense has done amazing for the past decade. And literally since 2011 in his debut, Jose Altuve has been the most dominant player in baseball. And he said, if anything can help the team win, I will move to left field. I'll move out of my comfortable position at second base to move over to left field to help this team win. That's what you call a real leader. Jose Altuve is literally one of the best leaders in baseball. Jose Altuve, you are one of my favorite players. You're my hero, my role model, second to Aaron Judge. Literally, as a Yankee fan, I understand a lot of Yankee fans don't like Altuve because of the cheating scandal. But Jose Altuve has literally apologized for the team, and he has literally responded in a really positive way. He takes time for the fans. He signs autographs. And he literally dominates baseball. And he makes really good plays. Jose Altuve is honestly one of the greatest second basemen in baseball. That's my opinion. And Jose Altuve, I salute to you. You are one of the best and respected players. And he said, even if you're 7 foot, 5'6", or 4 foot, you could, any size you are or any height you are, you could play the game of baseball. And literally, Jose Altuve is one of the best players in baseball. And literally, he is one of my favorite players, and I respect him for it. And he's a 2-time World Series champion, and he definitely deserves to get the 3,000 hits. Here's my friend Randy to talk about Jeremy Pena, Jose Altuve, football, and all the other stuff, and the Yankee legend. And it's sad that Yankee legend passed away at 100 years old. He's one of the best players to ever play baseball. And I rest in peace and I send my condolences to you and your family. Here's my friend Randy to talk about Jose Altuve, Jeremy Pena, and that Yankee legend. But first we're going to talk about Jeremy Pena.
Okay.
So, what do you think of Jeremy Pena, what I told you earlier about him?
Dude, it's amazing what he did on his rookie season. That's outstanding.
To win a Gold Glove, win a World Series MVP, win a World Series, win ALCS MVP, and hit a home run in the World Series in his rookie season. And hit a home run while his parents are being interviewed by the broadcast in his debut game.
That's actually an honor to be interviewed if your son is playing baseball for the team.
Yeah, and literally when he hit the home run, it gave the Astros a 4-0 lead against the Angels. And literally his mom and dad were seen screaming out of their minds when he did it. And
that's amazing.
And what do you think of this? He's only 25 or 27 years old.
That's incredible.
And he had over a 331 batting average in the postseason that year. He was the only player to step up.
That's an amazing hitting average.
And he had a hit in every single World Series game. Game 1, Game 2, Game 3, Game 4, Game 5, and Game 6. He had a hit in every game. And what's your honest opinion on Jeremy Pena? They hit a walk-off home run in his rookie season also.
That is awesome. Like, rookie season, walk-off home run. That's amazing.
And you don't expect that usually from a rookie.
No, not at all.
And what's your honest opinion on how I admit, his first season, he had an amazing year, won the World Series, won the MVP of the World Series and ALCS, and a Gold Glove. But then his second year, he struggled a little bit with only 10, 15 home runs. Then the third year, 15 home runs, 80 RBIs, but he's continuing to build it. And he said, I'm going to do anything to work on my offense and production to get better. And he replaced the fan favorite Carlos Correa, who left in free agency. And he's become a fan favorite, but he had to fill the shoes of Carlos Correa, who helped them win a World Series.
That's amazing.
Do you think there was a lot of pressure on him to fill up the shoes of Carlos Correa, who left?
I mean, everything is pressured in the moment, but what do they say? You gotta live in the moment, even though the pressure's up there.
Yeah. And what do you think of this? Pena said, and he takes the time to sign autographs and take photos and do sports interviews with fans and talk to the fans and throw balls to them in spring training and during the regular season. And they said he did this with Altuve once. Altuve did this. A kid had a severe burn on his face and everywhere, and he lost everything. And Altuve went to his house and did this and surprised the kid. And Astro officials went inside first and said, we have a surprise for you. Stay back turn and wait until we tell you to turn around. He turns around. Altuve's right behind him. Altuve gives him season tickets, a signed baseball, a signed glove, signed jersey, and a signed baseball bat for this kid. And literally Pena has done that ever since and everything.
He's doing something right for some fan that lost a lot and he had burns.
Yeah, that third-degree burns, I heard.
That shows that he showed heart, sorrows, and morals, because here's the thing. You never know how hard someone's life until you walk in their shoes, what they go through in their life and what happens, their obstacles and whatever. Because third-degree burns is a very serious condition because it's third-degree burns.
Yeah.
That means you're losing layers of skin on your face, your hands, your arms, and it can lead to, like, losing amputations, everything.
Yeah. And plus this, Pena is the son of a Hall of Famer, and his other cousins and brothers have played baseball, and one of them is still playing right now.
What team?
I'm trying to remember, and Jeremy Pena's younger brother is still in the minors, but I can't remember what the minor league team name is, but I know he plays for the Miami Marlins in their minor league system, and he's the same as Jeremy Pena. He is definitely deserves to be in the big leagues and everything. And he looks up to Jeremy.
That's not bad.
And what do you think of it that Jeremy Pena has literally worked so hard, and even though he had a really great first rookie season and tied the franchise record and tied Correa for the most home runs by a rookie shortstop in Astros history with 22, and then had a down year, and then came back, did okay, had a little bit of trouble staying healthy, but now he is working on everything.
That's awesome that he's having a great season.
In the spring training. And you know what his average right now in spring training is? 320 and 5 home runs, 15 RBIs, and a 1,200 OPS plus on base percentage with a 600%. And Pena is 20 for 10. Means he has 20 hits in spring training right now.
Not bad.
And his brother is doing okay, but his brother needs a lot more time in the minor leagues because he's only 20, and I think he's ready, but I think he needs more time in the minor leagues just to get better as a player.
I agree.
And what is your honest opinion that Pena is looking up to Altuve, and how Altuve has been taking Pena under his wing?
You always need that person to be under their wing so they can teach you the ropes and everything.
Yeah. And what do you think of this, that Pena has and everything had a hit in every single World Series game in 2022, and literally, and the Astros and Mariners went to an 18-inning game in the postseason, Game 3 of the ALDS, scoreless until Pena hit a game-winning home run to lead the Astros 1-0, and they won by a score of 1-0. Pena was that MVP of that game. He hit the game-winning home run in Seattle for the Astros and gave them a 1-0 lead, and they won by a score of 1-0 in 18 innings.
That's not bad.
And they went on to the ALCS and then swept my Yankees. And I admit, my Yankees have not been able to get past the Astros in the postseason, but I admit, as a Yankee fan, the Astros are my second favorite American League team. Yeah. And I admit that it's hard for other Yankee fans to admit that the Astros have forgotten the cheating and literally have become a better team since then. I admit it's hard for fans to admit that. But what is your thought of Yankee fans that still hold a grudge against the Astros when the Astros have become an even better team since then, and have literally forgiven themselves and have forgotten about the cheating and actually have become an even better team?
So holding a grudge is not going to lead to anything in life. I've told people in life, like our friends in general, you have to move on whatever happened in the past. Because you can't move on from the past, you're not going to move on to the future. And you can't focus on what you want to do in your future.
Yeah, and what is your honest opinion about the Yankee fans doing that with the Astros?
If you're a Yankee fan, I understand how you feel, but the past is the past. You can't fix the past. You have to fix the present and move on to the future.
And what do you think of my views as a Yankee fan, a diehard Yankee fan? I remember I couldn't forgive them for at least 2 years, 3 years, because I didn't know what was going on with their team and why they were beating us all the time. And then when Altuve apologized, said, "We did something wrong. We admit that it was wrong, and I admit for the team, we're sorry for this. We're going to do everything we can to earn your trust back and to the trust of the fans of baseball back, because the fans deserve everything." And when when Altuve said that, it connected to me. I'm like, Altuve's really feeling remorseful for it. And
Yeah,
he
because
uses his game as Derek Jeter. He wants to get better like Derek Jeter did.
Yeah, so honestly, it takes a man and it takes a whole team to admit something they did wrong.
Yeah.
If they can't admit they did something wrong, of course they're not going to be better in life.
And what do you think of what Altuve said?
He is a genius. He took initiative.
And what's your honest opinion on how Altuve uses his game as a baseball player to actually to hit like Derek Jeter?
He idolizes Derek Jeter, so that's a good thing to idolize.
And what do you think of this quote about Altuve? Jose Altuve's quote is this. He says, "You can be at any height, 7 foot, 6 foot, or 5 foot, or 4 foot to play the game of baseball, and even any size. It doesn't matter how big or how tall you are, you can still play the game if you never give up."
So, I agree with him. I played every sport you can name of. I played hockey. I played baseball. I played football. I played basketball. Not a lot of people know that I'm 6'2". I'm 6'2". So I'm a very tall man. So I played every sport that's not common for that height of a player.
You know how tall Jose Altuve is?
Well, so I'm trying to explain.
Yeah.
So a basketball player is meant to be 6'2". Not common for a 6 foot or 6'6" or 6'7" to play baseball.
Yeah.
Or football, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So I agree with Tube saying it doesn't matter what height you are, what size you are, it matters that you put a heart in the game.
Yeah. And Altuve is 5'6".
It doesn't matter what size, height, how, they ultracize your height and everything of playing whatever sport. They don't expect a small person, and I'm saying small person because it's not offensive to talk about a person that's smaller than you.
Yeah, and he's 5'6", and I found out I'm the same height as him.
So if you look at, I'm talking about a person that's 4 foot or 3 foot, they expect you to be a certain height because you have to be. Because if you're in school and you're playing at recess, and they just want to ostracize your height and say oh, you're just a small person, or they want to offend you, say oh, you're a midget, or you're this, or they just want to make you feel bad because they think you can't play the sport. So they'll pick you last because they think it's funny, or they think it will be funny to pick you last. And then if you play with them, they don't pass you the ball. Whatever sport it is, they just want to be bullies.
Yeah, and Altuve says, just ignore the people that bully you, but also it's always better to treat everybody with respect.
That's the thing. Not a lot of people see that in their eyes.
Altuve is a great leader.
But I'm just explaining, because people want to think oh, I'm better than you. You can't beat me in this. You can't beat me in that. But in reality, they're just being a bully because they want to make themselves feel better. They want to prove a point or something. But you're not proving a point. You're just being a bully. And I just want to say it out there. If you are fond about playing the sport that you love, follow your heart, follow your dreams. Because if you believe you can achieve, and no matter what other people say, they cannot take that away from you. And if all I can say is, if people are picking on you because of your height or your size, don't stoop to their level. Just go to the nearest teacher or go to the principal. It may make the situation worse, but it's better to stood clear level and get yourself in trouble.
Yeah. Jose Altuve is honestly one of the best players in baseball. He made his debut in 2011. I already said some stuff about Altuve in the first segment. But because Altuve has dominated over the last few years, and I admit his defense has gone down a little bit, but Altuve has taken a veteran leadership role in the Astros organization while still playing. He teams up with the World Baseball Classic for Team Venezuela, and he has dominated. And I admit, there are some moments where I'm like, oh no, Altuve's coming up. He's going to do something to the Yankees. And I admit, as a Yankee fan, Altuve is one of my favorite players. The reason why I love baseball is because Altuve and Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter said there may be people that work hard, but there's no one that works harder than you do. Derek Jeter played the game with love and heart and respect. Altuve does the same thing. Jose Altuve is honestly one of the best players in baseball. And I admit a lot of things has gone wrong for Altuve with his offense and defense and injury problems. I understand that totally. But as a Yankee fan, it's okay to have favorite players that are from other teams. And I admit there are a lot of fans that say you can't be a true Yankee fan if you like other teams. But my opinion is, as a true Yankee fan and a diehard Yankee fan and a baseball fan, take that into quote. As a baseball fan, you're allowed to love a player and support a team and be a diehard fan of another team and support another team in your division and in your league. Because literally, as a fan of the game of baseball, Jose Altuve is honestly one of the most respected, loved players in the game of baseball. He says you don't have to be the same size as 5'6", 5'2", 4 foot. Literally, Altuve says you don't need to be very tall or very small or any size. You could still play the game with love and respect. Altuve has dominated with defense, Gold Glove, Silver Slugger, Hank Aaron Award. And he's had almost every year except for last year and the year before, he's had over 30 home runs every season and 20 home runs. Altuve is close to 3,000 hits. And honestly, I think he could get to 3,000 hits this year. Jose Altuve is honestly one of the best players in baseball. That's my honest opinion because he's one of my favorite players. I have a poster of him up in my room. And I have a signed baseball from Jeremy Pena. I have a plaque that says World Series MVP signed from Jeremy Pena. And Jose Altuve is honestly one of the players that I respect and love because Altuve took Jeremy Pena under his wing. That's what I care about the game of baseball. I have Altuve's jersey. I have Pena's jersey. And Altuve is honestly one of the best players in baseball. Me and my friend Randy are going to explain what we think about Jose Altuve and his career. Here's my friend Randy. So, Randy, what do you think of what I said about Jose Altuve?
He seems like an amazing player. Seems like he loves the game of baseball and he likes what he's doing. So, like, he has a powerful meaning that he says, don't let anybody tell you not to follow your dreams. And it doesn't matter how tall you are or how small you are, just love the game you like.
Yeah, and what do you think of this? Jose Altuve, even though the last 2 years he's dealt with injury and his offense and defense has dropped a little bit, but Altuve for the last few years has had 30 home runs, 20 home runs almost every year, and he's almost to 3,000 hits.
He's about to be Mr. 3000. I like that.
And what do you think of this club that he'll join with if he gets to 3,000 hits this year?
The 3,000 club is awesome to be
in. And what do you think of this? If he joins this, what do you call it? If he joins Derek Jeter, Alex Rodriguez, Albert Pujols, and Babe Ruth, Mickey Mantle, Roger Maris, and Pete Rose, as those players, what do you think of that history that Altuve could join if he gets the 3,000 hits this year?
That would be amazing. He would join the 3,000 club. That would be an honor to be in.
To be with Derek Jeter, Mickey Mantle, Roger Maris, Babe Ruth, Pete Rose, Albert Pujols. And he said, I love playing here in Houston. And he signed a 5-year extension worth $130 million. He took a little bit less to stay with Houston for the rest of his career. He's entering his 35-year-old season, I think. And he's close to retirement, but he said he wants to play his entire career with the Houston Astros, and that's what he's doing right now.
That is awesome that he wants to be a Houston for life until he retires. That is awesome.
And what do you think of that he took less money to stay with them?
That means he's not there for the money. He's there to be a player.
And what did you think of that where he surprised a fan that had severe burns like the second or third degree, and he gave him a signed baseball bat, signed baseball, and a signed glove, season tickets, plaques, baseballs, everything. And he gave him a hug and got it all on video.
That is awesome.
What does that show as Altuve as a leader?
He loves his fans and he loves the game of baseball.
And what do you think of this? He says, and when the Astros cheating scandal was happening, Altuve said, the team is sorry. We were remorseful for what happened. We should have stopped this from happening. We need to earn the trust back of baseball and the fans because we deserve we deserve to not respect, but he says we all deserve respect for each other and love, and we deserve to earn the trust back and the respect of fans.
I mean, that means he's a leader.
And what do you think of that? That he also said this. He wants to grow his game of baseball as getting base hits every season. And he'll need 180 hits to get to 3,000 hits this year. And if he gets to it, I think he will. He'll join Jeter and all the others. But he said he uses his game to get base hits like Derek Jeter. He uses his game to get better like Derek Jeter did.
Because he idolized Derek Jeter, and that means he loves the game of baseball.
And what is your honest opinion on Jeter and Altuve?
They have the same idolize of the love of the game of baseball.
And what do you think of the 3,000 club? To join Pujols, Jeter, and A-Rod, Ruth, Maris.
Part of.
And do you think Altuve deserves to be in the Hall of Fame if he retired today?
Yes, definitely.
And what do you think of this? Beltran, even though they're saying he was the mastermind of that cheating scandal, he is close to getting into the Hall of Fame, but he needs to get above 80% of the votes next year to get in. And he was on that Astros team when it happened.
I mean, that's kind of stupid that he was part of it.
But he apologized for it, and he wanted to experience being a manager, but then he lost the chance when they fired him because he said he didn't want to be a distraction to the team.
I mean, at least you realize that.
And what's your honest opinion of how Altuve has taken a veteran leadership role in the organization?
In order to be a veteran of the organization, you have to be a leader, be a team.
Mm-hmm.
Take initiative as a leader.
Yeah.
No matter the wins or loss.
Yep.
No matter what the ups or downs are, you just got to be the veteran leader.
And Altuve has been with the Astros through multiple 100-loss seasons, 90-loss seasons, 80-loss seasons, and then he helped the team turn around into a 100-win season almost for last 7 years. He's been through everything with them.
That's amazing.
And what's your honest opinion on how Altuve has taken Jeremy Pena under his role?
He took a veteran lead, so he has to.
Yep. And what do you think about this that came out 2 days ago? The oldest Yankee that was a former player of the Yankees passed away at 100 years old.
Rest in peace to him. He's a legend.
And he helped the Yankees win 4 World Series titles over his 4 years with the team. And he was a Cy Young Award winner. I can't remember his name, but he was a Cy Young Award winner. And this former Yankee was a Cy Young Award winner, Triple Crown winner, MVP, and he's a Hall of Famer.
He'll always be remembered in my heart, fam.
And lived to 100 years old, and he served in World War II.
Wow.
He took a break from the game of baseball to help serve this country. What's your thought on that?
That's a legend, fam.
And what is your and what do you think of the moves that the NFL teams that made those signings and trades and releasements that we saw earlier today?
Oh my God, C.J. Mosley? You released C.J. Mosley? Dude,
I can't remember who he was on before.
C.J. Mosley with the Jets, New York Jets.
You were saying?
You released C.J. Mosley? Are you stupid? That was your best defense player.
True.
And you release him? What?
And what is your honest opinion on some of the Eagle players leaving as free agents and to other teams?
I mean, all right, so if you look at it, Nick Foles, he left, he came back.
Yeah.
Won a championship with the Eagles, and then when the Eagles won, they were like, okay, are we going to have him as a starter or are we going to have him as a backup? And then when the Eagles failed to come back and won another Super Bowl with Nick Foles, they traded Nick Foles again.
Yeah.
And then they had Carson Wentz as the starter, and then Carson Wentz had a whole lot of injuries and issues in life, and then it basically messed up his situation. And then with the 100th anniversary of the NFL, where they had the 100th anniversary patch and everything, they benched Carson Wentz, and then they had Jalen Hurts as the starter.
And you think he's going to get? And do you think Jalen Hurts is going to get an extension?
Well, they already extended him then. So they always extend the quarterback that wins the Super Bowl, which makes sense.
True.
But they also will extend A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. I feel like they're going to.
And they gave one to Saquon Barkley for 2 years. I thought they would give him at least 4 years.
Well, if they win more games again like they did during that Super Bowl, I don't think they are not going to extend Barkley again.
Why?
I feel like because they will extend. What I'm saying is they will. I don't think they won't. They will. Because that's like, if you look at it, since he left the Giants, the Giants did not have utilization of Saquon Barkley. They already got rid of Daniel Jones, and Daniel Jones wasn't really that good of a quarterback for the Giants. And I don't think that they ever had any emotions for Daniel Jones. So that's why they released him. But I feel like they're stupid to release him because they needed more what they needed for the Giants than what they needed for Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
If you look at it, okay, so the Jets had really good quarterbacks. And they just fudged it up for themselves. They had Mark Sanchez, which he was really good in his rookie season.
I remember my family friends told me about him.
Mark Sanchez was a really good quarterback for the Jets until that butt fumble on Thanksgiving against the New England Patriots, which is their big rivals, right?
Yeah.
after that butt fumble, it ruined his career. And then they released him, which I thought was so stupid that the Eagles picked up Mark Sanchez to play for the Eagles, right?
Yeah.
And then they had Geno Smith, which no one knows this a lot, but like Geno Smith actually had to had to step out for a few weeks of the season because his teammate broke his jaw, punched him in the jaw and broke his jaw.
That's insane.
So the backup quarterback was Michael Vick. I love Michael Vick. He was my favorite player in the Philadelphia Eagles, which I really feel like they should have won a Super Bowl with Michael Vick, but they just... And they had a stacked team. They had LaShawn McCoy. They had Jeremy Maclin. They had Jason Avant. They had Michael Vick. They had who else? They had Fletcher Cox. They had Trent Cole. They had a really good defense, and they had really good rivalries with the Giants in the Meadowlands. And they had Deshaun Jackson, the greatest wide receiver in NFL history.
Mm-hmm.
And then they kind of fudged up with injuries and release and things like that. And then, Asante Samuels. You can never forget the former Patriot Asante Samuels that was on the Eagles. Oh my God. They had Nate Allen. They had a good stacked defense those are the only people I can name. But they just really had to fix their lives on their teams, and then and it's just really bad on their behalf because the last team LaShawn McCoy played for was the Buffalo Bills. So LaShawn McCoy played for the Eagles, the Washington Redskins, which / now they're called, you can't even call them the Redskins anymore because it's offensive, we're going to get demonetized for saying that, but now it's Washington Commanders.
And they're a good team.
He played for the Washington Commanders. He played for the Chiefs, which he didn't do much for the Chiefs, and then the last team he played for was the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
And then Deshaun Jackson, he played for the Eagles, the Commanders, and then he came back to the Eagles and then retired as an Eagle.